I saw it all. I took note of all of it.
Good morning, Representative.
I do want to take a quick picture. So this is Patricia Goodwin, our legislative chair, and ASW Puppy. And Pam Brooks is who is our student representative. How are you? This is Senator Harold.
And you don't put anything in it? Okay. Hey, how are you? Good morning, Chris.
You gotta get like over there.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
Madam Vice Chair, sorry I didn't call you back. Just able to serve briefly. No matter what. Sit through it.
She got your coffee, she got your water, she got your candy.
Got it.
So we're
Love
gonna
it.
get him after 12. Do you know the judge?
I do.
I'll bring him.
How you doing, Kelly? Lovely, thank you. Very good, very good. How you doing, sir? Excellent. Perfect. Thank you. Judge, John Snyder, likewise. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here this morning. Not to worry. Well, we're grateful to have you and appreciate you being here this morning. It's critically important. Well, when you come up, please reach out. We'd love to have you come by the office. And okay. Fantastic. Yes, sir. Thank you.
We're also live on the Florida channel.
Okay. Channel 20. Excellent. We'll give them a good show. We need more than just two of us, though, Kelly. I see Gail. I see Ann.
Gail, Marty, Deborah. I think that's all I've seen.
Back at it again.
Here we are again. Twice in a week.
Thank you. All right, members, if you could please start making your way up to the dais. I believe we have a quorum. Let's try and be mindful of everybody's schedule, and let's get this meeting started as we make our way up.
Thank you.
Good morning. We will call today's meeting to order. Before we get started, I'd ask that all members and those in the public please stand and invite Representative Tendrich to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning. All right. I think everybody in the audience knows our delegation executive director, Miss Vicki Nolan, who does a wonderful job of getting us together with her team. Miss Vicki, could you please call the roll this morning?
Senator Berman.
Here.
Senator Bernard. Senator Harrell.
Here.
Senator Polsky. Representative Edmonds. Representative Gerwig.
Here.
Representative Gossett-Seidman. Representative Skidmore.
Here.
Representative Snyder.
Here.
Representative Tendrich.
Here.
And Representative Weinberger.
Where's she?
Fantastic. Well, it is great to be out in Western Palm Beach County. We're grateful to be here in Wellington today. To kick things off, we have a video to play for those in the public. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the video started.
Good morning, Chair Snyder, Vice Chair Skidmore, and the honorable senators and representatives of the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation. From the polo fields to the cornfields, District 6 represents the backbone of Palm Beach County, where the agricultural and the industrial communities all meet. It's an area that sustains not only our local economy, but helps feed families across the state of Florida. I am honored to serve as its county commissioner. As you review our legislative priorities, I ask that you keep in mind one critical issue we can only solve together: the safety and future of County Road 880. This farm-to-market route is the heartbeat of our western communities, yet it has become one of the most dangerous roads in Palm Beach County. Too many lives have been lost. Too many farmers have seen their livelihoods damaged as their products bounce along a road never built to handle today's high-volume loads and traffic. We don't need another tragedy to occur in order to act. We need partnership. I'm asking you to help us secure the resources necessary to modernize County Road 880, not as a luxury, but as a matter of life, safety, and economic security for the people who put food on our tables every single day. Thank you for your service in the legislature, and thank you for being here in District 6, a place that embodies both the heart and the hard work of Palm Beach County.
Thank you, Commissioner Baxter, for your service and for that timely reminder and message. Up next, our legislative host today, we're in her district, someone who's truly hit the ground running and taken her experience working at the municipal level and gotten right to work on some very important issues up in Tallahassee. Is a freshman, but sure doesn't act like it. Representative Gerwig, you are recognized for some remarks and an introduction.
Thank you, Chair Snyder. It's great to be here in my district. Someday I'll grow up to freshman status, but for now, it's just Ann. So thank you. It's great to see so many friendly faces and be home. I want to make sure that you look around you today when you see this facility, because we are very proud of it. This entire campus is something I'm hoping the mayor talks about, and I'm going to call him up. Mayor Michael Napoleon, if you could go ahead and welcome them to your great hometown. You're welcome to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative/Mayor Gerwig. You're always my mayor, so I can't adjust.
I got the slash
It's
part.
hard to adjust. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming out to Wellington. We appreciate having you here and hosting the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation and all the members of the public who came to speak on important issues. We're very honored to host this meeting in Wellington this morning as you all prepare for the 2026 legislative session. This public hearing is an essential forum for collaboration between state and local leaders, one that ensures the priorities and needs of Palm Beach County communities are heard and understood as policy and budget discussions take shape in Tallahassee. Here in Wellington, we have much to celebrate this year. In addition to this wonderful building and facility, this December marks Wellington's 30th anniversary as a municipality. We've had 3 decades of growth, partnership, and progress that reflect the very best of what can happen when a community works together. From our beginnings as a master plan community to becoming the 5th largest municipality in Palm Beach County, Wellington has remained a place defined by great neighborhoods, outstanding schools, and exceptional parks and recreation. We're proud to be known as the winter equestrian capital of the world, but equally proud of the year-round hometown spirit that makes Wellington one of Fortune's 50 best places to live for families and one of Florida's top 10 safest cities. Our accomplishments this past year reflect the dedication of our residents and our amazing staff who helped put this all together, earning national and state recognitions as the GFOA Triple Crown Award, the American Public Works Association accreditation, the CAPRA accreditation for Parks and Recreation, and a Moody's AAA bond rating. We continue to lead in environmental stewardship as a Tree City USA for decades on end, and a gold standard certified green local government while maintaining strong fiscal health and community engagement. As Wellington approaches our 30th year of incorporation, we're grateful for the continued partnership with our legislative delegation. Your advocacy on issues such as infrastructure, water resources, public safety, and local government sustainability makes a real difference in communities like ours and throughout the state of Florida. This year, like every other year, presents an interesting time in Tallahassee. Probably more challenges than in previous years with the work of the Select Committee on Property Taxes. Everyone is watching that very closely, and for those of you sitting up there, you should know Wellington is 87% residential, with over 62% of those being homesteaded properties, and a significant number are ag exempt. So we're very interested to see what happens up in Tallahassee this session, and we appreciate the hard work of the committee and their careful considerations of all the various impacts intended and unintended from the current proposals. Above all, regardless of what side you're on, we all share a common goal, and that's to ensure that Palm Beach County continues to thrive as a place where families, businesses, and neighborhoods are sustainable and successful. Thank you all for your service and for being here today. Again, welcome to Wellington, our great hometown. Thank you.
Mayor, thank you so much for being here and for graciously hosting. Again, just to reiterate, Wellington is in fantastic hands in Tallahassee with Representative Gerwig. I know she'll be advocating for you strongly, and the entire delegation. Our doors are open, and we look forward to continuing the conversation as session progresses. Up next, we're grateful to hear from our Chief Judge here in Palm Beach County, Mr. Glenn Kelly. Judge Kelly, thanks so much for being here. Thank you for your service. You're recognized, sir, to make some remarks for us.
Good morning. First of all, I want to thank Vicki because I didn't send my form in time, and she got me on the agenda, so I do appreciate that. And I want to welcome everyone that's here from the public. I'm the mayor's neighbor, so I will echo the words that he has said about Wellington. It is a great community to live in, and it's a great place to live, raise children, which is what I've done here in the Wellington community. I want to thank the legislative delegation for holding these public meetings. They are extremely important. You get the opportunity to hear from the public, from your constituents, to know what the issues are, and that is extremely important. I also want to thank you for the work that you do in Tallahassee. I have a particular interest in that, given the position I have statewide with the court system, which I'll get into briefly. Judges are not used to, by the way, being on the clock, but I am respectful of the clock, and so I'll try to keep my remarks relatively brief. But before I do talk about my role statewide and some of the places where we may intersect up in Tallahassee, I do want to extend an open invitation to all of you to visit our courts in the 15th Judicial Circuit. We have an open door policy. I know some years we have an opportunity to gather there at the courthouse. You have an opportunity to ask questions in kind of a formal setting. It does not have to be that way, though. Informally, if you have questions, if you want to see something, if you're interested in the criminal justice system, the civil side, our facilities, whatever you may be interested in, all you need to do is to give my office a call or give Vicki a call. She'll arrange it. And so we really do have an open door policy. Recently, Commissioner Flores came over. He's now on the CJC. And he was interested in seeing our juvenile courts and our criminal courts. We were able to give him that opportunity and that tour. And I would extend that invitation also when session begins in January. There'll be a lot of issues that come up that may touch upon the courts that you may be interested in. Again, I'm a phone call away. Chair Maney called last year all the chief judges when we were talking about needed resources and had opportunity to speak with each of the chief judges. It was very good to speak with him and to have the opportunity to explain from our own perspective locally what we viewed our needs to be. I would also thank the legislature and each of you for the support that you gave the court system last year. Because of you, we're going to have 3 new judges here in Palm Beach County. And I can tell you those judges are going to assist in the handling of cases and the processing of cases and the serving of the citizens of Palm Beach County. And so I want to thank you for that. As with most folks here and most folks you're going to see in Tallahassee, when we see you in Tallahassee, the court system probably will have things they're asking you of. That's what we do. There are budget concerns and requests that you will probably hear. I'm not going to get into those specifics. I will tell you from the trial court's perspective, we will be focusing on case management. Those are the issues that are important to us at this time. I'll briefly mention my role statewide and the opportunity I may have to see you in the future in Tallahassee. I am currently the vice chair of what's known as the Trial Court Budget Commission, which is in charge of basically the finances for the entire state court system. And so we meet regularly and we manage the budget, make sure we're not going to run out of money for payroll or anything like that. But we also have the opportunity to come up with budget requests, things that we think we're going to need in the coming years. And so as part of that, I'm on the legislative delegation for the TCBC. So I do have the opportunity to come to Tallahassee and to speak with our legislators, including you, about those issues. So I hope I have the opportunity in this coming session to come up and speak with you. I'm not up there all the time. We kind of take turns going up, but I will have that opportunity. Again, thank you for your service. I thank the public for being here. This is very important, this dialogue that you have with your legislators. And it's important you show up and that you show an interest, because the worst thing we can have is folks that don't take an interest in what's happening. And that's whether it's the legislative branch or the courts. Apathy is the worst thing. And so I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate all of you. And again, open door. Any questions, please call us. We'll be happy to either speak to you on the phone, give you a tour of the courthouse, address any things that we can that come up in the future. And Vicki knows how to get a hold of me, so just contact her and she'll set it up. So thank you very much for your service.
Thank you so much, Judge. And I apologize. I was going on and on about Representative Gerwig's fantastic care of Wellington and forgot to mention our Senate sponsor and hostess as well, Senator Berman. So I apologize for that. Senator Berman, thank you for your service and your part in hosting us as well. So with that, Senator Berman, if you could please, if you have any welcoming remarks and to introduce your staff, we'll go ahead and do that before we hop into presentations. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and it is my honor and privilege to represent Wellington. I represent District 26, which also has Boca, Delray, Boynton, Highland Beach, Gulfstream, Briny Breezes, Ocean Ridge, Wellington, Atlanta, oh, not Atlanta, I'm sorry, the Village of Gulf, and South Bay and Belglade. So a really wide, broad district, but very happy to represent them and be here with you. I have 2 of my staff here today. I have Troy Grass and Sophia Cabej, who are here with me today. So thank you for hosting us at Wellington.
Thank you, Senator. We're going to hop back down to this end of the dais. Senator Harrell, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and it's a delight to be here in the beautiful city of Wellington. I am State Senator Gail Harrell. My district is very large, District 31. I start in St. Lucie County, and the southern side of St. Lucie County, all of Martin County, and the northern side of Palm Beach County, and I kind of stair-step all the way down to southern. I go down first to PGA, then out to Military Trail, go down Military Trail to North Lake. At North Lake, I go west again to the Turnpike, and then I stair-step down to Southern, and I go all the way out to the lake, including a very large chunk of northern Palm Beach County. I have 16 cities, so I won't tell them all to you, but it's a delight to represent you. With me today, I have Karen Sweeney. Karen, over here. And she handles all my policy issues. Now, Carrie Lyra could not be with us today. She's back in the district, and she handles all the fiscal. So if you're looking for a budget issue, you need to talk with Carrie. And then all our constituent services are handled by Ann Baldock, and she is in our office as well. I have an office in Stewart and also an office in Jupiter in the town hall. And I'm delighted to be here, and thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Senator. I'll go ahead and introduce myself and, in perfect timing, my legislative aide, Sarah Craven, who runs our legislative office. Yes, thank you, Sarah. I'm going to be in trouble for that one later. And then also back at our district office, Stephen Bolduc. We have offices in Palm City and Jupiter. Again, my name is John Snyder. I have the privilege of serving all of coastal Martin County, the southern swath, and then out to Lake Okeechobee, and then the northern portion of Palm Beach County, and basically from I-95 to the coast of Jupiter. It's been a privilege to be the chair of this fantastic Palm Beach delegation. I believe we've got the best delegation in the state of Florida. Also, we'll just quickly introduce again Vicki Nolan, who's our executive director. And Vicki, if you'd like to, you're recognized for introduction of staff.
Thank you for your attendance this morning. We have Carriana Ingram. She is my right hand, my left hand, and my brain.
Fantastic. Thank you. Vice Chair Skidmore, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning. I feel like I'm home a little bit. I worked for many years in Wellington in my real estate days with Arvida, building out Palm Beach Polo. So I feel right at home here. And also, before redistricting, had some of the same districts, the same areas that Senator Berman does. So it's lovely to be here. I thank the Chamber of Commerce for the beautiful weather that it ordered for today. It's lovely to see you all. My name is Kelly Skidmore. I represent District 92, which is unincorporated portions of Palm Beach County in Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and Boynton Beach. My legislative aide, Dr. Gwen Gonzalez, is at home with a bad cold, and my district aide, Amy Chamberlain, is at home with a child with a bad cold. So something's going on in Coral Springs. But I'm glad that I'm here, and I'm looking forward to hearing from many of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Gerwig, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was negligent. I did not recognize my staff member that's here today. Reed Ragsdale, where are you? He's over there. So any questions about legislation or anything Tallahassee? Reed's our man. And then Kathy Adler, who has a long history of working here in the village. She's back at our district office. So many of you know Kathy, and that's who's holding down the fort with Gracie, her schnauzer, that is in charge of security. So if you come by, you'll get to meet Gracie also. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Representative Tendrich, you are recognized.
Good morning. My name is Deborah Tendrich, representing District 89, which is Central Palm Beach County. I'm here with my legislative aide, Joey Ippolit, who is back there, and also I have Audrey Piedra at the district office taking care of our constituents. I represent the Central County, which is Lake Worth, Lake Clark Shores, Palm Springs, Green Acres, Atlantis, parts of West Palm, Glen Ridge, Cloud Lake, and I hope I didn't miss anyone.
Thank you. And Representative Weinberger, you are recognized.
Good morning. Mag Weinberger, representing District 94. I'm neighboring district to Rep. Gerwig and Tendrick. All the way from Southern Boulevard to Indiantown, west of the Turnpike to the Glades. So I live in Calusa. I live on a big animal sanctuary, and I know many of you from volunteering in the community, and I look forward to hearing from you today. Oh, and a quick shout out to Kat Madras, my district aide here representing today. Thank you so much, Kat.
Thank you. And I know we don't have time to recognize all elected officials that might be in the audience, but if you are serving in an elected capacity, please, if you wouldn't mind, just stand up so we know you're here and your constituents know you're here as well. Thank you so much. Grateful to all of our local, grassroots, and municipal partners, and also from the county, our Chief Deputy County Administrator, Todd Bonlaren. Todd, thank you for being here as well. All right, as we move into the public comment period, if there is anyone who has not registered ahead of time, but that does wish to speak today, if you would please see Carrie Ann, you could raise your hand to turn in a speaker comment card. Please do that, or any of the team up against the wall over here to your right. For members, the local bill hearing will be held on Thursday, November 13th at the L Center of Excellence up in Jupiter. So again, invite all folks from the public that are here today. If you feel like making the trek again up to Jupiter and you can't get it all out in 3 minutes, come see us again. We'll be up at North County, and then we'll also be hearing some local bills at that time. Today's meeting is being live streamed on the Legislative Delegation Facebook page and the Florida channel. And a replay of today's meeting will be shown at PBC TV, which is available on Comcast Channel 20, AT&T Channel 99, and streamed 24/7 on the county's website, pbcgov.com. We see here today we've got 26 registered speakers, and here at the center they've graciously given us 2 hours of time. And so I would just ask, as you prepare to come up before us, if you can keep your comments at no more than 3 minutes, and if you're able to get us some time back on the clock, that'd be great. We just want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to make their voices heard, and I do speak on behalf of the delegation. I know some of the issues that you care deeply about are complex, and there's no way to get it out in 3 minutes. And so our doors are always open. There's a reason our staff is here, is to make sure that we can do our job, which is to be your voice as we gear up in these committee weeks and head back up to Tallahassee to get to work. Because at the end of the day, that is our role, again, is to be your voice in Tallahassee for many of these critical issues. So with that being said, our first presenter today will be the mayor of the city of Belle Glade, Steve Wilson, followed by Christine Berger with the Alzheimer's Association. Mayor Wilson, good morning. Thanks for being here. You are recognized.
Well, good morning, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, and to all the delegates in their respectable place. Thank you for what you do. Steve Wilson, for the record, Mayor of the great city of Belle Glade. I have with me our Vice Mayor Joaquin Amazon, Commissioner Tequila Collins, and Commissioner Dr. Robert L. Reese. I also have with me our city manager for over 60 years in government, Mr. Lomax Harrell, and the one that do all his work is our deputy manager, Zatek Mariam. How do we start? I'll tell you, I try to put on my Sunday best. I was raised up old school that when you're going before important people, you put on your best. And I also was trying to compete with my good friend Mayor Joe Kyles of the city of South Bay, because he's well-dressed. I cannot outdress that guy. Well, in fact, my manager was telling me yesterday, he said, you know what, Mayor Kyles never wear the same suit. So I didn't know how to take that. Well, he telling me, well, he getting tired of seeing with the same suit, or do I need to step up my game? Now, I'm saying all that for a reason. We know how hard you guys work for us. There's no doubt about that. You work hard. And with that, we want to say thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you're doing. And thank you for what you will continue to do to represent Palm Beach County. I've been there and I've seen you in action. We don't always get what we want, but I know we have a seat at the table. We ought to give them a big hand for that. Thank you. And with your permission, Mr. Chair, I'd like to yield my remaining time to our Commissioner Tequila Collins.
Good morning, everyone. Commissioner Tequila Collins, as stated. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, and all of the delegates of this for this opportunity on the behalf of the City of Belle Glade. Our three appropriation requests are stormwater, hardening of the Lakeshore Civic Center. Last year's request was $2 million for this project, and we are requesting another $2 million, as this building is very vital to our community, and it serves multiple purposes for our community. And last and final request is our roads. As everyone already know, the condition of our roads and how very much important this is to us to improve. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Christine Berger from the Alzheimer's Association, followed by Mindy Hankin. Good morning, Ms. Berger. You are recognized.
Good morning. Distinguished members of Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation, my name is Christine Berger, and I'm a proud advocate for the Alzheimer's Association. I am also one of the many faces of Alzheimer's, as some of you may already know. I was a caregiver for my stepfather, Joe, and I am living with mild cognitive impairment. Having spoken with some of you in previous meetings, I've also learned that many of you have been touched by the realities of Alzheimer's and dementia. Florida has been proven to be a leader in dementia care, but Palm Beach County continues to be ranked in the top 100 counties in the country for Alzheimer's prevalence, with about 51,600 of our 65 and over population suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia. With your continued support and commitment, we remain optimistic as we propose our 2026 legislative priorities. We now have FDA-approved blood tests to aid in diagnosis and treatments that can slow the progression of Alzheimer's by reducing amyloid plaque in the brain. This needs to be done early, and the only way to do this is by raising awareness about what to look for and when to seek medical advice. We are advocating for $1.5 million to fund a comprehensive statewide public health awareness campaign that leverages multiple media platforms. Awareness has been key to both sides of my story. My stepfather may have been showing signs of Alzheimer's, but we did not know how to recognize it. He was getting old after all. It wasn't until he got disoriented and turned into oncoming traffic, almost killing my mother, that he was finally diagnosed with Lewy body dementia. His license was revoked, and I shudder to think what could have happened if he kept driving. Because of this, I became fully engaged in learning about Alzheimer's and dementia. This allowed me to recognize that I needed to seek medical help for my memory issues. I am now working with a neurologist who specializes in memory care. I couldn't have done this without awareness and education. Yet Florida remains one of the few states that has not invested in public awareness campaign. It is essential that we act on this now. Over 87,000 dementia caregivers are managing their own chronic conditions. There are 17,000 on a wait list for respite service that will support to navigate the dementia care through their journey. And this allows individuals with Alzheimer's to stay at home within their community. We are asking you to please codify the Alzheimer's Center of Excellence, the FACE program. We are also seeking an increase in funding for the Alzheimer's Disease Initiative to provide caregivers with respite service. Additional funding to eliminate the wait list is vital. On behalf of the Alzheimer's Association and the over 500,000 Floridians living with the disease, I thank you for your time and opportunity today.
Thank you for being here and for sharing your story, ma'am. Up next, we have Mindy Hankin, the Executive Director for the PACE Center for Girls, followed by Andres Torrens. Ms. Hankin and team, you're recognized. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. My name is Mindy Hankin, and I am the proud Executive Director at the PACE Center for Girls, servicing all of Palm Beach County. There are 20 PACE centers across the great state of Florida, and the one in Palm Beach County opened 29 years ago in 1996. With me, I have 4 PACE students, Dariana, Zion, Cindy, and Desiree. Desiree will tell you about her PACE experience.
At PACE Center for Girls, it has helped me grow academically and personally. Before attending PACE, I struggled with lack of motivation, anxiety, and poor grades. At first, I was nervous, but with the supportive environment, it has helped me gain more confidence and step out of my comfort zone. I was introduced to public speaking, even though I've always refused to do so. PACE has helped me open my eyes and try new things. I am forever grateful for being surrounded by positive and an uplifting program.
That was great, right? Great job, Desiree. We are proud of the 45 students that we have in our school program located in the village of Palm Springs. We also service an additional 30 girls throughout Palm Beach County with mental health therapy services. Our licensed therapists will meet with middle school and high school girls anywhere in Palm Beach County, at their home, in their schools, at a library, in a local park, etc. We are extremely grateful to the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice for sponsoring PACE and including PACE Center for Girls in the DJJ budget. Last year, I brought 4 PACE girls to Tallahassee for what is affectionately called PACE Day at the Capitol. We visited with many of you, and we look forward to coming again in February 2026, meeting with you in your offices. Next month, we'll be hosting our annual Believing in Girls luncheon at the Kravis Center in West Palm Beach, and I want to cordially invite you to attend. In addition to Desiree sharing her PACE story at the luncheon, 6 other girls from PACE will be speaking about the power of PACE Center for Girls. So we'll see you in Tallahassee in February, at the Kravis Center next month, and we invite you to come and see the PACE Center for Girls in action anytime you're available. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Miss Desiree, if you were ever afraid of public speaking, no one would ever know it. Great job. So thank you again for being here. All right, up next we will hear from Andres Torrens, the Palm Beach chair of the Florida chapter of the National Association of Social Workers, followed by Larry Ryan. Mr. Torrens, you're recognized.
Good morning. My name is Andres Torrens, and I am the chair of the Palm Beach unit of the National Association of Social Workers. Here with me are Patricia Goodrich, our legislative chair for our unit, as well as Pam Brooks, our student representative for this unit. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today about the Social Work Licensure Interstate Compact, House Bill 13, Senate Bill 74, and thank you, Senator Harrell, for sponsoring this bill. The Social Work Interstate Compact offers a powerful solution by allowing licensed clinical social workers to practice across the state lines in any member state, whether in person or through telehealth. This legislation expands access to qualified professionals who can meet urgent and ongoing needs without the delays of navigating cumbersome licensure processes. For military families, who often face relocation and career disruptions, this compact also ensures the continuity of care and professional engagement, allowing them to contribute their skills to new communities without interruption. According to the Florida Behavioral Health Workforce Dashboard, there are currently 13,628 licensed clinical social workers practicing statewide, up from 7,300 in 2014, an increase of approximately 57%. Despite this growth, projections show that by 2035, Florida will need roughly 19,000 LCSWs to meet the demand, but the supply is expected to reach only about 16,000. If the current trends continue, this persistent gap limits access to mental health across Florida communities and contributes to long wait times. Florida has already demonstrated leadership by joining other interstate licensing compacts like the Counseling Compact. We know this model works to improve professional mobility while protecting our citizens. The Social Work Compact already passed the House in a previous session with strong bipartisan support. Let's finish this job. The Social Work Licensure Compact offers a solution to expand our workforce and improve access to care. NASW Florida urges lawmakers to prioritize passage of the compact, which would allow qualified licensed social workers to follow their clients from other compact states and avoid unnecessary disruptions in their services. By voting to approve the compact, you will be voting to increase access to vital mental health services for all Floridians, support military families, and work towards strengthening public protection. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Torrens. Up next, we'll hear from Larry Ryan, the president and CEO of ChildNet, Inc., followed by Reme Kauri, the managing director of engineering and administration for Solid Waste Authority.
Thank you,
Mr. Ryan,
Chair.
you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Larry Ryan, CEO of ChildNet, the lead agency for community-based care in Palm Beach County since October 1st, 2012. I'm here to give an annual sort of update on the status of foster care and related services in Palm Beach, and I'm thrilled to say that that report is overwhelmingly positive. The number of foster care children in Palm Beach today is the lowest it's been in ChildNet's 13 years here. We are just at 1,000 children, which is absolutely amazing and is a good thing because children are home safe and not being removed, and because Palm Beach probably does the best job in the state of moving children to permanence quickly after they've been removed. This is a function of a great judiciary, legal people, good case management by ChildNet, great service providers. And we're only going to get better at that because we are fortunate enough to have a special appropriation sponsored by Representative Gerwig and Senator Polsky that will enable us to increase dramatically our capacity to provide visitation, supervised visitation for families who have had their children removed so that they can get back home more quickly. We're also in the best place we've been for a while financially because a back-of-the-bill appropriation from the legislature last year enabled us to eliminate the $4.5 million deficit that we'd accumulated over the last 3 years. That's a great solution, but it's not an enduring solution. And what the state of Florida needs and what the legislature has asked for 3 years in a row the Department of Children and Families and the lead agencies to do is come up with a better model for funding child welfare. Not a better one, actually the first one ever. And we are in the process of working on that. I want you to understand, though, we've worked very closely with the department. The current administration at the department has been wonderful. We're meeting every 2 weeks at least. But there are inherent flaws in the model that we need to address. The two primary ones are, one, it is based on the history of spending. So that threatens to continue inequities for certain lead agencies. If you received less in the past, you would get less with this model. There needs to be a way to address that. The second thing is, the model is one, a per member per month model, which means without some sort of solution, if you do the great work of reducing the number of children in foster care, you will lose money. And that is not the way to incentivize good and better performance. So we will be speaking to you going forward, especially members that are on the Senate Health and Human Services Appropriation Committee. Thank God 2 of our biggest advocates are here and on that committee. So thank you very much. We look forward to talking to you more before and during session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. On behalf of the delegation, all the children and families that you serve, and for our entire community, we really appreciate all your hard work and advocacy. Look forward to working with you in this upcoming session. Up next, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name, so Mr. Kari, you are recognized, the Managing Director of Engineering Administration for the Solid Waste Authority, followed by Gil Smart. Mr. Kari, you're recognized.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, and delegation members. My name is Ramana Carey. I'm the Managing Director of Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, or SWA. I would like first to congratulate Delegation Chair, Representative Snyder, and Delegation Vice Chair, Representative Skidmore, on their leadership elections this year. Here's some information about SWA. SWA owns 2 waste-to-energy plants, 6 transfer stations, 7 home chemical drop-off areas, and also a landfill in Palm Beach County. We are a dependent special district established in 1975. We managed last year 2.3 million tons of waste in Palm Beach County. And our annual budget is $408 million this year, and we have 436 employees. Palm Beach County is the #1 county in the state for recycling 3 years in a row, at 90% last year, far exceeding the 75% goal established by the state. So we're just wrapping up our 50th year of providing environmentally sound and fiscally responsible waste management services here in Palm Beach County, And thank you to Senator Berman for presenting us with a Senate resolution last year to recognize that. And we have some big things on the horizon. We're planning on a new waste-to-energy facility, $1.5 billion budget to replace the 40-year-old REF 1, or Renewable Energy Facility number 1. And we also have a collections contract that's going to start next year for 5 different service areas within Palm Beach County, unincorporated areas. And the big thing here is our executive director is retiring in December. So we will have a new executive director starting in December. And last year, there were more than 60 operational and administrative bills that could have impacted our operation. And a special thank you goes out to Representative Weinberger for working with us all the way through the last hours of the session on her waste facilities bill. And also Senator Berman and late Representative Casello on the state recycling bill. SWA is ready to help in any shape or form on any questions on bills related to solid waste, recycling, power generation, power agreements, special districts, and how it has an impact on our operations. And you have my business card and our Legislative Affairs Manager, Willie Puss's business card here. So please call, text, or email and see how we can help you there. And we will see you during the Palm Beach County days in Tallahassee and look forward to working with you to have a positive legislative session. And thank you for your service.
Thank you, Mr. Kari. Appreciate you being here this morning. Up next, the Policy Director for Friends of the Everglades, Gil Smart, followed by Gene Rhodes, the Young Singers of Palm Beach. Mr. Smart, recognized.
Good morning, esteemed delegation members. I am Gil Smart. I'm Policy Director for Friends of the Everglades. We were founded in 1969 by Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. We are based in Stewart. Our organization's been in the news lately because of the legal challenges we filed against the Everglades Detention Center known as Alligator Alcatraz, which we believe is causing irreparable harm to the Everglades, including at least 20 acres of new pavement and high-intensity lighting in prime habitat for the endangered Florida panther, all of it installed with no public input, no environmental impact study as required by the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA. Aside from the legal arguments, however, we've watched as the state and maybe ultimately the federal government have spent hundreds of millions of dollars on this facility, which literally could have been built anywhere else. And we thought, what if that money had instead been invested in the Everglades? What if we'd used the funding to purchase the additional land we're going to need to fully restore the Everglades, to better clean the water being sent south and prevent harmful discharges once and for all? Last year, prior to session, our organization launched our Rescue the River of Grass campaign, and we asked lawmakers, some of whom I've met with you personally on this, to begin thinking about the next phase of Everglades restoration. You know, it's been 25 years since the inception of SERP, the Comprehensive Everglades Restoration Plan. There's a temptation to finish up the job on that list and go like this and say, we're done. We're not going to be done when SERP is complete. There's going to need to be a next phase if we are going to acquire additional land to stop discharges, to fully restore the Everglades, and promote more flow south to Florida Bay. So we are happy. This remains our top legislative priority, and we are happy to speak with any of you on this issue and provide you with any information we can on restoring this crucial ecosystem. In addition, this session, our other legislative priorities include calling on lawmakers to protect wetlands, do more to improve water quality, stop sugarcane burning, and embrace smarter controlled development. This last item is particularly important. Recent legislative sessions have been marked by attempts to push through ever more development by watering down local planning authority, disenfranchising citizens, and ultimately increasing impacts to our wild areas and fragile waterways. We've already seen a few bills filed this session which would continue that theme, House Bill 105 and Senate Bill 208. We ask you to tap the brakes this time around. In particular, we ask you to support efforts to revise Senate Bill 180, which passed last session, has become a flashpoint for lawsuits in the way it hamstrings local governments and their planning process. We would welcome the opportunity to serve as a resource for any of you when it comes to conservation, Everglades and Everglades-related issues. Thank you for this opportunity to speak, and thank you for anything you can do to protect the Everglades and this paradise we call home. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smart. Up next, Ms. Rhodes, the board president of the Young Singers of the Palm Beaches, followed by Andrea King. You are recognized.
Thank you. Good morning, representatives. I am attorney Jean P. Williams Rhodes of Rhodes Law Group. I am here on behalf of Young Singers of the Palm Beaches as the president of the board, and with me is the executive director, Melanie Blankstein. I come to you not only as the president of the board, but I am a parent in the organization. Young Singers of the Palm Beaches has been in existence for 24 years. So today, thank you on behalf of 350 singers and their families from the Kravis Center. Thank you on behalf of 2,400 children and their families in our after-school programs that are supported by Primetime Palm Beach County. During my last legislative session, I'd like to give special thanks to Senator Berman, Senator McBernard, and their assistants, Representative Tendrich and Representative Weinberger, who made time to meet with me, who made time to hear about the issues that are so pressing in the world today, those that impact our children. We are the only professional children's choir in Palm Beach County, and I'd like to think of us as a supportive choir. Last year, we were scored a 95 by the panel, but what I'm most proud of is what we hear from our singers. What we have are singers after school who come to us and say, "This has been the best part of my day. I belong to a community of friends. Their mental health and wellness has been better. Their attendance in school has been better. They are receptive to listening." Music, as you may have heard from the reports of Yale and MIT, is so much more than just a music education. It builds critical functioning skills. 4 spaces on 5 lines are what our children read, not just words on a paper. And it is because of each of you we were awarded a grant last year for your vote. We are coming back again this year. We are expanding in Belle Glade, Mayor. We have 5 schools with children in elementary and middle school, and we plan to expand that program to every child that wants it. And it is because of your support we are able to stand here today and tell you this program is already working and it's already successful. We have a wonderful concert coming up December 14th at the Kravis Center, and each of you are invited. Again, thank you, delegates, for being here, for showing your investment in the community. And in today's world where it's a constant battle with AI, nothing is more important than the arts education that we're seeing and the positive results. Thank you, each of you.
Thank you so much for being here.
President
Vice Chair
Rhodes.
Skidmore has a question for you, ma'am. Ms.
President
Rhodes?
Rhodes, just one quick comment. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everything that you do, and of course, you may know that my daughter was one of those students who participated in the program, and she eventually became a vocal major at Dreyfus, and that changed her life and mine as well. What you do can't be measured, really. But if you have not ever been to a concert, please make time in December to go to this concert. You will be blown away at the talent of the children in Palm Beach County, I promise you. And I want to thank the executive director as well for everything she does to wrangle all those kids and make them shine. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate
Thank you, Vice Chair. And I would just ask on behalf of the delegation, if you haven't already, please make sure that invitation gets to Vicki, and she'll push that out to our office, and then we'll try and blast that out to our constituents as well, just to continue to raise that awareness. So great point there, Vice Chair Skidmore.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Andrea King, followed by Shakima Glover. Miss King, thank you for being here. If you're speaking on behalf of a certain group, feel free to let us know, but you are recognized, ma'am.
Absolutely. Good morning. My name is Dr. Andrea King. I'm the administrator for Dr. Willie Sneed at Palm Beach Christian Prep School, and I'm also a concerned parent. I'm here to speak about the Education Choice Plan. Good morning. My name is Andrea King, and I live in Palm Beach in Senator Bernard and Representative Edmond District. I am here to tell you my family's story and urge you to continue to support the education choice. I have 4 kids that's on the Step Up Scholarship. Aubrey, my twins Matthew and Maya, and my son Jeremiah. All 4 were struggling in public school. One of my kids, Jeremiah, the oldest, he was sick every morning, telling me he had upset stomach, he was being bullied, he didn't want to go to school, he began to fail. GPA dropped down to 1.9. Jeremiah and Matthew both play football, different positions, And they met Pastor Sneed one day at their school. He's a recruiter, he recruits boys for football. And they hit it off very well. So the school was incredible, but I had no idea how I was going to pay for my kids' tuition and how I was going to afford it. Then Pastor Sneed told me about the Step Up Scholarship, and I was like, God, thank you. In 2022, we applied, and my life has never been the same. We have never looked back. My kids are thriving academically, emotionally, and most importantly, spiritually. I love the faith-based home we're raising our children in, the same thing that they get and they learn every day at school. Thank you, Jesus. Pastor Sneed is hard on them because he knows each of our kids is greatness in them, in each one of them. Aubrey's first year was tough in public school, but now that she's at Palm Beach Christian Prep School, which the choice program is funding that for her, she's doing very well, and I'm so proud of her, so proud of her. She was being bullied as well for being biracial, but God is amazing. My twins, Maya and Matthew, are in the 10th grade. They both are thriving. Maya struggled with reading before, and now is one of the top readers in her class because of the choice program that paid for her education to be in private school in such a small setting as well. Her teacher said that she's the ideal classmate for one of the leaders in her grade class. I could not be such a proud mom. Matthew is playing football, and he's already hearing from the college's recruiters already. He's only in the 10th grade. His dream is to play in the NFL, and he said if it doesn't work out, he said he would love to be a lawyer or be a nurse like his mom. My oldest son, Jeremiah, he's graduating this year. He's graduating this year with a scholarship. He started off with a 1.9 GPA when he was in high school. And he's playing multiple positions on the football team, and we are planning to hear from some of the biggest universities and his dreams to play for, like Matthew. He was to be in the NFL or be a firefighter or lawyer or nurse like his mom. Our school is truly a place where God blesses rain downs upon our children daily. I cannot tell you how fortunate and blessed we feel to have our kids in such a safe, nurturing environment. I want to thank you all here today who supported the school choice in families like mine, and urge all of you to delegate and to continue to give to families like my family and others. You guys have met the needs of my children, and I'm grateful. I'm getting emotional just standing here talking about it. What you guys have done, you don't even understand. It's amazing, totally amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. King.
Totally amazing. My family is living proof that school choice is working in Florida. My family is proof, it's proven. My kids had 1.9 GPA, 1.8, 1.6, 1.7. Not that they're not smart children. They are bright, brilliant, smart children. They just needed that small setting, and they needed that private time just with a small setting. And I just thank God for you guys. I just want to say thank you, and thank you. And thank you for this time.
Thank you so much, Ms. King. We really appreciate you being here and sharing your story with us. Thank you very much. Up next, the CEO of Advocacy Activists, Shakima Glover, followed by Marissa Brana. You're recognized. Good morning.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to make you aware of the need for legal representation for children coming into foster care, child welfare, the Department of Children and Families, DCF, family and dependency court systems. The term victim is oftentimes used when a child that is below the age of majority is found to be in need of care. It is these very victims, the children, which are the main focus of court proceedings in the dependency and family court systems that remain with an unrepresented voice. So it should lead you to ask yourself why. Why aren't these children provided with their own attorney? It is important to note that Florida is one of 13 states that does not provide legal representation for these quote-unquote child victims. Despite that state law that exists that covers children with disabilities, even those children with disabilities are left without legal represented voices. One may argue that it is the guardian ad litem program's job, but the GAL is for the best interest of the court on behalf of the child, not for the child. If everyone in court are by law now, to have an attorney, then every child coming into the system should be represented by an attorney. If you're interested in learning more, I can provide you with facts-based literature on the importance of legal representation for a child, or you can visit fosterfairness.com to learn more. Please consider this matter as you proceed with this upcoming legislative session. Consider the budget deficit reduction and the positive impact that shifting dollars to provide legal representation for all children entering these systems can have, not only on state and local budgets, but on the lives of the very victims, our children. Remember, children become adults, and it is time for a change. My second thing that I would like you to know is that there is a dire need for funding for the preservation of generational wealth in the historic Coma Park area in downtown West Palm Beach. I am here with foster fairness and advocacy activists. I thank you again for this opportunity to enlighten you. Have a blessed day, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ms. Glover. Up next with PRR Families United, Marissa Brana, followed by David Cranston. Ms. Brana. All right, we will move along to David Cranston, Florida Energy Policy Manager with the Environmental Defense Fund, followed by Ryan Gunn. Mr. Cranston, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Chair Snyder. Members of the delegation, thank you for having me and everyone else here. I am the Florida Energy Policy Manager with the Environmental Defense Fund. EDF is a global nonprofit that finds pragmatic science and economics-based solutions to environmental and public policy challenges. We have nearly 300,000 members and supporters in the state of Florida. As you all know, our state faced a devastating hurricane season last year, and bolstering the resilience of our communities from storm, flooding, and power outage impacts is top of mind for EDF. Thank you all for supporting last year's flood disclosure bills that extended help to prospective renters in addition to homeowners to understand their flood risks. The data is clear that hurricanes are getting stronger. Category 3 or higher storms are now 3 times more frequent than 100 years ago. As we look ahead to the 2026 session, we have 3 key priorities that we ask you to focus on to help keep Florida safe, resilient, and affordable. First is to strengthen disaster preparedness by fully funding the Resilient Florida Trust Fund. Now in its 5th year, this critical grant program is showing how nature-based and hybrid resilience projects can cost-effectively safeguard communities from extreme weather and flooding. Unfortunately, of the 143 projects that were proposed last year, only 23 could be supported due to funding constraints. And in Palm Beach County, there were 16 projects submitted. 12 of them could not be funded, so only 4 were. So available funds do not match the growing need, and with more resources, this program will protect more residents, strengthen infrastructure, and support local economies for generations to come. Second is to diversify our energy supply by expanding Florida's use of, the difference between my height and my computer is causing problems here. It's to diversify our energy supply by expanding Florida's use of locally produced energy. Our state relies on imported natural gas for 75% of its electricity, which leaves families and businesses exposed to volatile power bills due to volatile natural gas prices. EDF found that Florida ratepayers risk paying $21 billion more in fuel costs alone if we maintain our current trajectory. That's over the next 10 years. A recent statewide poll found that 82% of voters are concerned about rising electricity prices and are very supportive of solar power. We recommend an energy security plan that prioritizes fuel diversification, grid modernization, and cybersecurity to ensure Floridians have energy choice, resilience, and affordability. And real quick, the last point I'll mention is to ensure that Florida continues taking a leadership role in implementing future-ready transportation. We have the 2nd most registered electric vehicles in the country with just over 400,000. So we'll benefit from policies that not only support market demand, but also build the infrastructure necessary to ensure Floridians can safely evacuate during emergencies. So thank you all for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Cranston. And before you come up, Mr. Gunn, Senator Bernard, I know, was here well before the start of the meeting, but had some pressing issues that I know you were working on. And so if you'd like, first we'd like to say welcome. We're grateful to have you here with us. And if you'd like to say a few words and have any staff introductions, you're recognized, Senator.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mac Bernard, State Center for District 24. Sorry that I got here actually at 9, so but I had another meeting that I had to attend, so so that's the reason why I'm late. So sorry, Mr. Chair. And I do have Devonique Taylor, who's from my office. Mr. Chair, basically, Devonique is the boss. Thank you.
Got it. Understood.
I understand.
Thank you, sir. All right, up next, the Vice President and Chief Strategic Officer for Urban Youth Impact, Ryan Gunn, followed by Shana Ostrovitz. Mr. Gunn, thank you for your patience. You're recognized.
All right, thanks. Again, my name is Ryan Gunn. I represent Urban Youth Impact. Urban Youth Impact has served the children of West Palm Beach and Riviera inner cities since 1997. I've been a volunteer for the last 18 years and came on staff last month. If you look at page 2 of the handout, hopefully you have that in front of you because a lot of what I'm going to go through is going to refer to the handouts. It's a picture of a bunch of kids here. I began volunteering at UII in 2007, had a group of about 20 sixth graders. By the time they reached their 18th birthday, 3 were killed, 5 others were shot. That's 8 out of 20, and that is the environment that a lot of the kids we work with are coming from. If you look to page 3, it's a picture of our school today. We have K through 5th grade. We're going to build on each year. Today, fortunately, Urban Youth Impact is more of a lottery ticket. Unlike during the times when I had the mentoring group, we now have a private Christian education free to the community that's catered specifically for kids that come from backgrounds that in many cases are very difficult. If you look at page 4, please, that is a snapshot of the local public schools in the inner cities and the amount of kids who can read on grade level. It's roughly between 20 and 30%. You see at Urban Youth Impact, we're close to 77%, and the longer the children are with us, the higher that goes. The next page, number 5, really important. It shows what the local public schools, the success in some of our suburbs is doing. You look at Jupiter, you look at Boca, you look here in Wellington. Reading levels are in the 80s, close to 90%. So it's a wonderful success story, but you also see the difference. Where you grow up and what your income level is a huge impact on their future success. So look at page 6, please. This is what happens with people who are not, or young children who don't read on a 4th grade level. You see the statistics, whether it's inmates, juvenile detention center, and welfare recipients. So again, we get to them early, we get our hearts early, and their future success, it's radically different. Page 7, and these are some statistics on fatherlessness. I'm not going to go all of them now, but a couple quick stories during my time volunteering. There was one time where a 10-year-old was at my house. I caught him on my computer. He had tears in his eyes. He was looking at mugshots of his father, who he'd never met, and that was the closest he could get to him. Another student, I would drive around, just ask how his weekend was. Did you see your dad? He would tell his dad came by to take him fishing. His dad came by to shoot baskets with him. By the time that student was an 11th grader, he told me he had made it all up. Again, the trauma of a lot of these children who grew up without fathers that care about them or in the picture is substantial. The reason I'm telling you that, if you look at page 7, page 8, at Urban Youth Impact, in addition to small 14-to-1 student-to-teacher ratios, each classroom has a shepherd. The shepherd is there as sort of a father figure, a counselor, and just sort of filling in the gaps of the trauma side of things. So in closing, we have a very unique model that has not seen many places in the country, period. And as long as inner cities have been around, we've never found something to solve it and to change the direction of these kids. I'm asking for support. In closing, again, sorry, Urban Youth has never asked for money since they've been around since 1997. I would ask for $100,000. We could use a lot more, but it's whatever to your discretion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gunn. And I would just, we've got a question from Senator Berman, but I would just invite you to please circle back with our staff and we can walk through how some of those budget requests are made and be happy to help. Oh, we do have okay. I think we've got some input from the panel. Up first, I'd like to recognize Senator Berman.
That was exactly where, thank you, Mr. Chair. That's exactly where I'm going. Do you have a sponsor for your request? And we can move forward from there.
Yeah, Representative Gerwig, kind enough to sponsor.
Okay, and you need a Senate sponsor also.
Yeah, and then Mr. Edmonds, Representative Edmonds as well.
He's
spoke with him.
He's a representative. You need a senator.
Okay, apologies.
Okay,
I'm new at this.
right.
Like I said, 18 years as a volunteer. I've been on staff a month, so you got to hold my hand.
We'll work with you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure, thank you.
You got it. Right then, you got what you needed.
I think, you can count on lots of support from up here. So thank you for what you're doing and all the great work. So look forward to learning more. Did any other members have questions or comments for Mr. Gunn? All right, seeing none. Thank you again, sir. Up next, we have, indeed, that is applause worthy, the Executive Director for 1909, Shayna Ostrovitz, followed by Jason Morales. You are recognized, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, and Delegation. My name is Shayna Ostrovitz, and I'm the Executive Director of 1909. Named after the year Palm Beach County was founded, 1909 is a 501c3 nonprofit organization offering entrepreneurs countywide the resources to launch, grow, and scale their businesses. We serve nearly 300 founders in our community who are creating more than 200 jobs annually and generating over $80 million in local economic impact in Palm Beach County. Entrepreneurship is proven to lead to higher wages, create more local jobs, and keep money circulating locally. We support our founders through education and mentorship designed to meet them where they are at, from early ideation to growth and scale stage. Earlier this year, we moved into our new 9,000 square foot space in the heart of downtown West Palm Beach, giving us room to support even more founders, expand our programs, and continue building a true home base for innovation in the region. Thanks to the support of now Senator Bernard, at the end of 2024, we launched a new program with Palm Beach County support and funding to provide resources tailored for second stage companies in the county, filling a gap that has existed in our local ecosystem. The goal of this programming is to help more businesses scale up to their first $1 million in revenue, a milestone where businesses can hire more staff, move into brick and mortar locations, contribute to community development, and are more likely to sustain over the long run. The funding for this program will continue until October 2026. Already this year, we've served more than 61 companies through this new program with workshops around operational efficiency, leadership and staffing, customer retention, and financial modeling, offering peer pods providing founders the guidance they need to be resilient through challenges, one-on-one mentorships with experts focused on anything the founder needs, from legal help with employment documentation to capital access and financial management. And we host events to connect these business owners with capital providers and the larger corporate community. These connections are critical to the growth and success of emerging businesses in our community. An example of the impact this type of programming creates can be seen clearly by a company based out of 1909 called Whole Story Studio. This founder, who is a Palm Beach Gardens resident, has participating in our program and mentorship to help her grow her audiobook production company. This year, she was able to open a full-service audiobook production studio, the first of its kind in Palm Beach County. Hired new employees, one who moved here from Michigan just to work for her company, and has people traveling from all over the world to work with her and record with her in West Palm Beach. The rippling effects of the growing businesses we serve are endless. There are hundreds of other stories like this from founders and companies we serve in Palm Beach County that I could share, but I obviously will not have time in 3 minutes. So that is why I would like to invite you and your staff to come to our 1909 and meet the business owners we serve. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to meeting you at our space.
Thank you so much for being here. Up next from SEIU, Chapter 1199, Jason Morales, followed by Jennifer Dana. You are recognized, Mr. Morales.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning, everyone. My name is Jason Morales. I'm here representing 1199 SEIU. We represent over 30,000 retired and active healthcare workers here in the state of Florida. We are the largest healthcare union here in Florida. We are committed to the well-being of our patients, working families, and of course the entire community. And I'd like to thank you again for all the work that you guys do for our caregivers. Now more than ever, it's been more critical that we had local leaders like you on our side to face grave danger of what they call the Big Beautiful Bill and the massive cuts to our healthcare system. This legislation will cause up to almost 2 million Floridians, young and old, to lose their healthcare coverage here in Florida. In Florida, nursing home care for 4 of 7 elderly patients is supported by Medicaid, which is being gutted by these cuts. Cuts of $1 trillion will cause hospitals and nursing homes to close and thousands of healthcare workers to lose their jobs. Children will lose their food and nutrition assistance, especially from these heartless SNAP cuts. All of this will further deepen with with the severe healthcare and staffing crisis we have faced in our state. Nursing homes and hospitals have been in dire straits since the pandemic and beyond. It's especially appalling to us that this devastation is for billionaires and giving tax breaks to them. We need government that takes care of us, not one that hurts us. We want a future where every family has food on the table, health care when they need it, and safety in their neighborhood. Healthcare workers play an invaluable role caring for the community. They love protecting our patients, but we are under siege. We need your help with legislation that ensures safe staffing levels, job protection, and fair pay. We need to be defended against state-sponsored intimidation and corporate greed. This is the only way to attract, protect, and retain caregivers, in turn, protect and care for our communities and your communities. Lastly, our healthcare workers really need your support. More than ever, members of our tenant healthcare system have voted to picket at St. Mary's Hospital System due to failed contract negotiations. We invite you and your staff to join us on the picket line November 18th. We hope that you can make it. We'll be in touch with your offices, obviously, but we want to thank you again for listening today. We would love to have more conversation in more depth when we see you in Tallahassee. Thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you for being here. Up next, we will hear from Jennifer Dana, the section manager for 911 Telecommunications, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, followed by Dr. Connie Siskowski. Thank you for being here, Ms. Dana. You are recognized.
Thank you. Good morning, guys. I am grateful that you guys are here representing us here in the state of Florida and from Palm Beach County. Thank you for giving me time to speak today. Again, my name is Jennifer Dana. I do work at the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office in the 911 Emergency Communications Center, where I've been there for about 17 years. I'm here on behalf of all 911 dispatchers in the state of Florida, as well as Palm Beach County. First, I would like to especially thank Representative Weinberger for sponsoring our bill, in believing that people who take the very first call on every emergency deserve to be recognized as true first responders in public safety system and not just an extension of that system. During this upcoming legislative session, we're going to be looking to accomplish 3 goals: to be included in the definition of first responder, to establish PTSD and mental health protection for dispatchers, and to begin making progress towards a viable 25-year retirement structure, because this is a career that takes a toll on both the mind and the body. Dispatchers are responsible for life and death situations every single day. We're coordinating emergencies while someone's life is quite literally hanging in the balance. The trauma and stress from that role is very real. PTSD in this profession is not theoretical. Clinicians have treated dispatchers for it, and we're working with providers who can actually issue statements confirming it. We're the first point of contact, the first to make critical decisions, often the last voice someone hears. We oversee, direct, and manage the emergency until law enforcement, fire rescue, and paramedics arrive. You don't have to be on scene to be responsible for what happens at the scene. And just like the commander in the military, even road patrol, law enforcement, who makes life-altering decisions from a command post, our role is operational. It is not clerical. I would also like to address a growing misconception. We all know about AI. If you just Google something, AI is going to prompt you, and it's not always accurate. So I want to touch on a couple of topics, because I've learned very recently of a growing misconception about the role of artificial intelligence in 911. And the narrative that we're being told is that it's replacing 911 dispatchers. That's not only inaccurate, it's dangerous. Yes, AI is being used in 911 emergency centers. It's being used to assist with quality assurance, to translate, transcribe. It cannot make the decision to send whether 2 deputies or 10 deputies. And it also can't interpret the silence during a domestic violence call, because the silence is palpable and proverbially loud at the same time. If the argument is that we shouldn't be recognized as first responders because someday technology might take over some of our tasks, then by that same logic, we should stop calling deputies, firefighters, and paramedics first responders, because we already use drones, robots, and autonomous tools in their work too. We don't strip titles for future tools. We should be defining it based on what the job demands of us today. Now, when dispatchers carry life and death responsibility right now, and we deserve to be acknowledged right now. We're asking to be recognized for the work as it's being done now, recognize the trauma it causes, recognize that this profession cannot survive another decade without mental health protections and a sustainable career path, and recognize that when someone needs help before the police, firefighters or paramedics ever arrive, a 911 dispatcher is already there.
Ms. Dana, thank you so much for being here and for being the face and the voice of many of the men and women who are answering calls right now as we speak, keeping our community safe. So we hear you, and hopefully we can continue moving that ball down the field. And so thank you for your service. And on that note, just would like to also thank Sheriff Bradshaw. We know just in the news there has been a recent just spout of political violence, and so in order to make sure that our members of the public are safe, the staff and elected are safe, we'd just like to thank Sheriff Bradshaw for sending Deputy Harper over to us today for keeping us safe. Deputy Harper, I've been told you're doing amazing things, not just here in Wellington, but for many of the youth in the community throughout Palm Beach County. So thank you again to all the men and women of Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office on the front lines, in the emergency operations, taking those calls, and all of our municipalities for keeping us safe.
And actually, one last thing, if anybody wants a tour to come and see how we actually operate, this is open for you guys too. Let us know, because I would love to show you guys, the delegation and the public, how we actually operate in today's society, in today's world. It's a wonder to see how these men and women do this day in and day out. So, but thank you for all of your support, and hope to see you in Tallahassee in January. Thank you guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, could I say a word to
Yes,
Deputy Harper?
we have a question for you.
No.
Or maybe just a comment. Representative Gerwig, you're recognized.
I wanted to recognize Deputy Harper and thank the mayor for all the duties that are happening here and for providing for us. But Deputy Harper has been keeping elected officials safe in Wellington from time as far back as I can remember, almost. And he's faithful, and it feels the same as we have in Tallahassee with the Sergeant at Arms. He has our back. He would take a bullet for us, so I want to thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for that, Representative. All right, moving on to Dr. Connie Siskowski, the founder and CEO of the American Association of Caregiving Youth, Inc., followed by Takeda King Peng. Good morning, ma'am. Thanks for being here. You're recognized.
Good morning, and thank you all so much. I bet that everyone here has heard the quote, "It takes a village to raise a child." And in taking one of our students to a group home one time, I realized there were boundaries. And so I've quickly changed to say it takes a community, because a community has no boundaries. And I think that's truly what we're seeing here today. So when I was a top 10 CNN hero, a major takeaway was that no child in our country should have to drop out of school because of family caregiving responsibilities. Today in our country, there's more than 6 million child caregivers and more than 290,000 in Florida public middle and high schools. That's more than all the children of all ages who are in foster care or who are homeless, and yet our government provides for those kids. But why not caregiving youth? These children sacrifice their education, their health, their childhood, and well-being to provide care for a family member with a health condition. You see the slide, and I don't know if those slides are in your packet or not, but you can see for yourself, and those in our audience can see. You see one of our children providing eye drops to her single mom who is visually impaired. You see another one who is tube feeding her sibling who is otherwise unable to eat. So we do not advocate that children should be in this role, which is a defect of our healthcare system, but what we say is that these children should be safe. They should be supported and valued. Do you know that more than 1/3 of the almost 700 children we serve take care of more than one person? So one of our boys said to me one time, "Well, Dr. Connie, what would our country do? What would our state do if it weren't for caregiving youth?" So Anne was 12, and she and her mom were in a car accident hit by a drunk driver with no insurance and no assets. Ann's father had to work 2 jobs, and so she had to take care of her mom. She was frustrated and wound up with juvenile justice until she came with us. Jimmy's mom, who was single, went to work early, and he had to care for his grandmother before he went to school. Well, I don't know if anybody here has ever taken care of a person who's a little older, but sometimes it takes longer. And so Jimmy would miss the school bus, and that happened several times. It accounts for absences in our school, which we're all concerned about. So I just want to close by saying the Caregiving Youth Act in Florida will define this population, establish a task force, and rank those among us who are providing the most intensive care so they can be valued and supported. And my final ask is that when you see a child pushing someone in a wheelchair, think about what happens when they get home, and that's when their work really begins. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being here. Up next, we will hear from Takeda King Peng, the Executive Director for the Women's Foundation of Florida Healthy Youth Alliance, followed by Charlene Farrington. Thank you for being here. You were recognized.
Thank you so much, Chair. Thank you so much to all of our state legislators. It's wonderful to see you here today in person. My name is Takeda, and I'm the Executive Director of the Women's Foundation of Florida. We are a nearly 20-year-old organization founded right here in West Palm Beach, and we educate and empower women and girls to step into leadership so they can change how the world works around them. I'm here today putting on my Florida Healthy Youth Alliance hat. As one of the founding members of the Florida Healthy Youth Alliance, we are a statewide coalition unlike most. We are made up of medical, education, and research professionals who champion access to quality sexual health education in K-12 schools. Quality sexual health education means curricula that is medically accurate, age-appropriate, inclusive, trauma-informed, and culturally competent. We know that this information is vital for our young people to make informed and healthy decisions about their futures and their day-to-day lives. Currently, Florida has enacted numerous restrictions at the state level that have created real gaps in the sexual health curricula that we are providing across the state. Holes in information like instruction on contraception, sexual consent, reproductive basic anatomy, as well as LGBT inclusion. These gaps are creating real consequences. We are going to see higher rates of teen pregnancy, higher rates of unintended STI infections, higher rates of HIV and AIDS. Young people are not going to have the information that they need to create knowledge and consent around healthy relationships. Research across decades has shown that well-delivered sexual health education actually delays initiation of sexual activity, reduces pregnancy rates, STI rates, and improves future healthy relationships for young people. Quality sex education is not about encouraging sexual activity. It's about giving young people tools and information to stay safe, make informed choices, so that when they do decide to be sexually active, they are able to do so safely and in a manner that is good for their mental and physical well-being. It also contributes to the prevention of sexual violence and abuse by centering and educating young people on the importance of consent, respect, and healthy relationships. When young people do not receive this information in schools, they often do not receive it. We agree that parents should be the absolute first stop for this information, but when that information is not able to be provided for whatever reason in the home, it is imperative that we ensure our young people are getting accurate and medically informative details to protect themselves. When students are turning to misinformation, they're more likely to go online or ask a friend. And if you've talked to young people, some of the information out there is staggeringly scary. I urge all of our state legislators to support policies and funding that continue to ensure quality sex education in our public schools. And we ask that you resist any further narrowing or censoring of instruction that doesn't prioritize science and evidence over ideology. I ask you to commit to listening to those most in the know, educators, health professionals, parents, and the youth as you shape education policy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for being here. Up next, we will hear from Charlene Farrington, the Executive Director of the Spady Cultural Heritage Museum, followed by Reverend Latifa Griffin. Good morning, ma'am. You're recognized.
Thank you to the esteemed elected officials in the room and everyone else who is esteemed in the room. That means everyone. My name is Charlene Farrington, Executive Director of the Spady Cultural Heritage Museum in beautiful downtown Delray Beach. I'm here representing the Florida African American Heritage Preservation Network and its requests for renewed funding this session. The 32 African American museums that comprise this historical and cultural organization greatly appreciate the funding that has been received from the legislature since 2009, greatly and truly. Located in communities throughout Florida, from Pensacola to Miami, legislative funds help to sustain our individual museums and build the capacity that is needed to provide engaging and educational arts, history, and cultural events in our respective communities. Our museums also help to enhance heritage tourism and support public events, including lectures, art and history exhibits, and performances. The artifacts that we hold and care for and preserve, many of which are irreplaceable, require consistent care and management, and this is another way that the legislative funding assists our operations. Much of our community activity is geared toward public and charter schools, including field trips and being available to assist educators with research needed to produce lesson plans and curriculum material. The Spady Museum is an active network site, and as such, we receive a sub-grant from the annual legislative appropriation and funds to support high school and college interns. Can't do it without them. The annual economic report for 2025 highlights the impact in revenue to our city, county, state. Based on raw data extrapolated by the FSU Research Department, 63,890 people visited our sites, and a total visitor spending was $17.2 million. Also, the report documents that 481 jobs were created, $22.8 million in paid wages, and sales revenue was $31 million. The legislative funding also helps us to attract other state and federal grants as in-kind match dollars to support programs and activities and to keep our doors open. I want to thank you for your support and ask that you please vote to renew our museum network funding. Your sponsorship of our request and your positive advocacy and your vote would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Farrington. Up next, Reverend Latifa Griffin, followed by Brigitta McTeague. Reverend, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairwoman, and the esteemed delegation. My name is Reverend Latifa Griffin, pastor of First Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Palm Beaches in North Palm, and I am here on behalf of PEACE. And PEACE stands for People Engaged in Active Community Efforts, some of which are here with us today. PEACE represents 27 congregations across Palm Beach County, representing 40,000 parishioners strong. And for 34 years, we've brought community stories to decision makers to address problems like homelessness, education, and ID access. Over the past 2 years, we've met with many of you about the growing mental health crisis here in Palm Beach County. We come to you today advocating for the expansion of the Florida Assertive Community Treatment Teams in our county. Those are called FACT teams. FACT teams will provide long-term care for people in mental health crisis, reduce costs to our systems, and essentially save lives. Through our work, we've heard hundreds of stories from families failed by the system, people just discharged without follow-up care, cycling between ERs, jails, and homelessness. FACT teams would address this crisis. FACT teams serve the most vulnerable with our integrated approach: psychiatrists, social workers, peer mentors, and housing specialists working together to achieve long-term stability for our most vulnerable. FACT teams also improve treatment attendance, reducing jail bookings by 30 to 40%, and cost 5 times less than traditional care. Right now, Palm Beach County only has 2 FACT teams for over 1.5 million residents. According to the state gap analysis, an independent report requested by your colleagues and the legislator shows that we need at least 5 in the county. So we're underfunded, understaffed, everything. Crisis care alone isn't enough. Prevention and long-term support are essential. And with your leadership, we can expand FACT teams here in Palm Beach County and give people the crisis and care that they need to thrive. Also, next month in Tallahassee, Peace, as an organization, will be in Tallahassee, ready to partner with you to turn these solutions into real lasting change for our community. Once again, thank you again, legislation, and I welcome any comments or questions if you have any.
Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that so much. All right, just again, a quick reminder, we've got about 25 minutes left in the meeting. If you do want to speak, please make sure that you fill out a public comment card and get those turned in. Up next, we'll have Brigida McTeague with Indivisible, followed by Barbara Weinberg. You are recognized, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, elected officials and residents of Palm Beach County. My name is Brigida McTeague. I'm a retired history teacher, and I have lived in Boynton Beach for the last 33 years. I'm here today to advocate for immigrants in our local community and to voice my opposition to the mass detention and deportation of our hardworking friends and neighbors. ICE has authorized our state and local governments to perform federal immigration enforcement functions, which has resulted in separation of families, disappearances of longtime residents, and the deportation of countless innocent community members who just happen to be immigrants. Of course, we have seen the targeting of marginalized groups before throughout history, as well as the deplorable results of allowing government-sponsored hatred and discrimination to flourish. As a young child in 1930s Germany, my own mother witnessed Jewish residents being transported away from their homes, undoubtedly to a concentration camp. She didn't understand what was happening at the time and assumed that these innocent people were criminals. None of the adults who witnessed this event did anything about it. I think it's difficult for us to admit that history is repeating itself, and my fear is that treating innocent, hardworking immigrants as if they were criminals will escalate into even more hateful and violent actions towards these people who are seen as other, just like Jewish residents of Europe were viewed in the 1930s and 40s. The vast majority of our local community members who originate from other countries, whether documented or undocumented, are law-abiding, family-oriented folks who came here simply because they wanted a better life for their loved ones. This is the time for each of us to listen to our consciences and take a stand against the normalization of evil. We can't see what is happening to adults and children who have been dehumanized and are being held in detention camps or foreign prisons without so much as a hearing to determine their immigration status. Whether we are elected officials here today or simply residents, each of us needs to do our part to disallow these government actions. Don't we all want to be on the right side of history? To paraphrase German theologian Martin Niemöller, first they came for the immigrants, and I spoke out because I know how the rest of the poem goes. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. Up next, we'll hear from Barbara Weinberg, followed by Kate Renchin. Ms. Weinberg, you are recognized.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Barbara Weinberg. I've been a resident of Palm Beach County for almost 23 years. I would also like to address issues of immigrant justice, the undermining of the rule of law by not following due process, by arresting immigrants and not allowing them timely phone calls or access to their attorneys or family members, by not scheduling initial custody appearances, by detaining without charges, by deporting people before they've been seen by a judge, and by arresting people when they show up for scheduled court dates. In the United States, time and again, we have fought for and pledged ourselves to freedom and justice for all, no matter our place in society, the color of our skin, our religion, or national origin. I proudly say that in this, our country, even undocumented immigrants have rights, that we, as a society valuing the rule of law and common decency, must adhere to. Not following due process is a slippery slope that is about much more than immigration. It's a reflection of how we as a country value law and decency. And it opens the door to broader assaults on our Constitution and system of government. If we allow the law to be circumvented with immigrants, then what marginalized group will be next? I ask that the Florida legislature revisit the 287G state mandate, Florida Statute 908.11, that took effect in early 2025 in consideration of the substantial harmful effects it's having on the lives of people in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Up next, we'll hear from Kate Wrenchin with the Palm Beach County League of Women Voters, followed by Dominic Phillips. Ms. Wrenchin, you are recognized.
Thank you, and good morning. Kate Wrenchin from the Palm Beach County Voting Rights Coalition and the League of Women Voters. And I want to thank Senator Berman and Representative Gerwig for coming to our Hot Topic luncheon yesterday. You both got rave reviews. I hope other members of the delegation will consider coming to speak to our League of Women Voters. The League of Women Voters and the Palm Beach County Voting Rights Coalition stand with the Florida Constitution and against mid-decade redistricting. 66% of Floridians agree with us. We voted to pass Fair Districts Amendments 5 and 6 in 2010, which specifically state congressional districts or redistricting or districting plans may not be drawn to favor or disfavor an incumbent political party. Redistricting now, as being proposed, is unconstitutional in Florida, and it's unfair. The basis of redistricting is fairness. Every voter should have an equal and proportionate voice. When a political party draws maps to benefit itself rather than the voters, we call it gerrymandering. This current proposal isn't even pretending to be fair. People may not know who all their representatives are, but they know when something is unfair. Creating districts to favor one party over another silences voters and robs them of the ability to elect the candidates of their choice. It discourages voters who say, "Why should I bother to vote? My vote doesn't matter." Floridians are worried about urgent issues, such as skyrocketing insurance costs, housing, and healthcare costs. Taxpayer dollars should be spent on fixing these problems instead of unnecessary and unconstitutional redistricting. The last redistricting process cost taxpayers millions of dollars. The League of Women Voters is asking 3 things of state legislators. Say no to mid-cycle redistricting, protect Floridians' right to vote by saying no to bills that make it harder to vote or to register to vote, and fully fund elections administration to ensure secure, fair, and efficient elections in every county. Voting and elections are the foundation of our beloved American democracy, and they need our protection. Thank you for your attention and consideration.
Thank you. Just a quick announcement. I know we've got 8 confirmed request to speak cards, and we only have 16 minutes left in this auditorium, and we've got to finish on time. After Mr. Phillips, we'll go to Dennis Miles, but for those who are going to be speak, if you could try and get your comments condensed down to 2 minutes, and then we'll be here to sidebar and continue conversations in our office. With that being said, Mr. Phillips, you are recognized, sir.
Yes, I'm Dominic Phillips, that's me. I'll be using my time to speak respectfully and within the rules. Please allow me to continue without interruption, as this is protected by the First Amendment. The reason why I'm here and know about this law, I know it doesn't matter to you guys. Whether I speak or not today, I know that does not matter to you. What should matter to you is Florida Statute 768.21, subsection 8, violates the 14th Amendment by denying equal protection and due process. It strips away natural rights simply based on age or marital status. You senators and representatives swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. That means standing up against laws that violate fundamental rights, not silently allowing them to continue. Last year, there was a bill that would have repealed this law, even though it passed the legislature, overwhelming bipartisan support. Ron DeSantis vetoed it, and you did nothing about it. That bill had well above the two-third in both chambers. You chose not to move forward with an override. That says a lot about his priorities and your character. You swore to uphold the Constitution.
Mr. Phillips, if you could please don't make it personal.
I told you not to interrupt me.
Mr. Phillips,
this is not personal.
Mr.
You
Phillips,
can sit here and take praise, but you can't take criticism.
I'm asking you to
Do not
please
stop
keep it
me.
respectful,
This isn't
sir.
against your character. Don't set
make it
yourself up for a civil lawsuit, sir. Let me speak. This isn't about your character. You're putting on your little
Continue
suits.
if you don't make it personal.
Let me. I'm not taking it personal. You're not making it personal. I'm criticizing you. I'm allowed to. It's my first amendment. I told you not to interrupt me. Let me
You're welcome
continue.
to continue, Mr. Phillips.
You're not allowing me to continue. I'm telling you, let me continue. Okay? You swore to uphold the Constitution. That means protecting unjust laws that deny people their most basic rights. Last year, we're asking for a full repeal this year, okay, with no caps. And if you put caps on it, you're discriminating against the same people. If anything, take away all their rights. Put caps on all the people, not just a certain class of citizens. That's disrespectful, okay? And I see you guys getting so passionate about other laws that you go there and you pass with your eyes closed, but not this one. I hope you sleep well at night. I'm finished. You can have your.
Thank you. Up next, we'll hear from Dennis Miles, the Executive Director for the Children's Home Society. Mr. Miles, you are recognized, sir. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Chair Snyder and fellow members. And I never greet Senator Harrell without saying, "Go Gators."
Thank you. Go Gators.
I'm going to take a real quick minute to introduce myself. I'm Dennis Miles, the new Executive Director for Children's Home Society, covering Palm Beach, Broward, and the Treasure Coast. I come to CHS after a 20-year career with DCF, where the last 13 years I was the Regional Managing Director. I retired in 2024, and after about a year in retirement, I was approached by CHS about this position, and it was when they introduced me to the Community Partnership School model that I made the decision to get back in the game. I think this model is a game changer, and I absolutely appreciate all the support the legislature has given this model. We have 2 CPS schools in Palm Beach County, JFK Middle and Lake Worth High School. We are hosting a tour next Wednesday with Representative Tendrich at Lake Worth High School, and we encourage anyone who would like to join us on that tour, let us know, or if there's just another date, either at JFK or at Lake Worth that you'd like to tour. You can hear a lot of great things about CPS, but until you see it, you can't really understand it. I mean, it is an on-campus hub of services and resources that is working to divert children from the child welfare system that I've been part of for most of my adult life. It's an incredible, incredible operation. And today I have with me our CPS school director at Lake Worth High School, Rebecca Harley, who once served with me at DCF, and she's going to talk to you real quick about the model.
Good morning.
On behalf of Children's Home Society and as the Director of Community Partnership Schools at Lake Worth High, I want to say thank you for your continued funding of the initiative. Because of that investment, 45,000 kids statewide are being positively impacted. At Lake Worth High, I can personally tell you that you can see and feel the restored hope and belief from our kids that anything is possible despite a rough beginning, challenges, and their unique backgrounds. Like Dennis said, the model works because it's comprehensive. We're focused on the whole child. That's social, emotional, wellness, anything my mind's eye can conceive to bring to the kids, that is what we are trying to do. And it's so beautiful because it's done with the support of the community. Everybody brings what they have, and we transform that into a resource for our kids. So they now view everything that we offer them as support, not a handout, which was originally what they would say when they would pass the clothing or the shoes or the food. Now they just feel like they're valued. We are deeply honored to champion academic equity in the manner that we're approaching it, which is through community, and our goal is to continue to expand the initiative and extend our behavioral and mental health services. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. All right, moving into our additional public comment. Our first speaker is Melody McDonald, here to speak on the free kill law. Ms. McDonald, thanks for being here. You are recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. As a founder and former director of Florida Medical Rights Association, I'm both grateful and dismayed to be here speaking with you guys again today. My name is Melody, and my dad was a Florida free kill in 2016. After the clean repeal of the free kill law that passed last year with 93% of the House and Senate in support, nearly 7,000 letters were sent asking DeSantis to honor the legislature's decision, and he vetoed it anyway, clearly in favor of special interest groups. Thanks to social media, press, and many people, awareness of the free kill law has risen. This law also weakens the 3 strikes law, which is meant to keep dangerous practitioners away from patients because 2 of the 3 pathways to get a strike are not available to people who discriminately fall within the free kill category. Caps have already been deemed unconstitutional in the Sunshine State, and we are acutely aware of special interest groups that are pressing for caps anyway. I'm here to remind you that caps prioritize profits over people. The lobbying for them is entirely unethical. We, the people here, have a presence at every delegation meeting across the state, and we are a growing movement for the people. A House bill is already in progress. We thank Representative Trabulsi for that, and we're asking for your support to see this through again and complete the clean repeal as we have requested and as DeSantis denied. We still need a senator to pick this up to support us. I thank you for letting me speak today.
Thank you, ma'am. Really appreciate you being here. Up next, we will hear from Deirdre Krause, followed by Kathleen Gates. So, Ms. Krause, if I mispronounced your first name, I apologize. You are recognized on behalf of the Florida Nurses Association.
Why, thank you. It's Deirdre.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
I appreciate that. Don't have anything really prepared. I just wanted to come to thank the legislation here for your continued support for nursing. You have done so much in funding the Florida Center for Nursing, and if you have seen Dr. Reina Letourneau in action, she is just amazing in collecting all of the numbers and making improvements. And just so you know, she was just inducted as a fellow in the American Academy of Nursing. And what she has done for nursing in the state of Florida is wonderful. And I wanted to also personally thank Senator Howell for supporting us in making sure that we have quality and integrity in nursing education. It's really important, and Dr. Letourneau will show you the quality and integrity that is needed by the schools of nursing, and we have the backing of the Board of Nursing reestablished to oversee the quality and integrity of that. What I'm also going to ask for is continued support for our surgical smoke bill. It's really important. I know a lot of you are for that, and I want to continue that. One other issue also is to please allow all nurses to practice to the extent and scope of their education and experience, especially with the advanced practice nurses. Healthcare is so important, and there's such a shortage of nurses and physicians out there. So if we can let everybody practice to that. And one last thing that's really important and dear to my heart, please protect the safety of the nurses in healthcare institutions. Workplace violence is really getting severe. Chapter 395 of the Florida statute on the risk management, if we can not only do patients, but staff also. I would appreciate it. Thank you for your time, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you being here. Up next, we will hear from Kathleen Gates with the Sierra Club, and then Estefania Torres. Ma'am, thanks for being here. You're recognized.
Hi, it's nice to see you today. My passion is the environment. And I'd like to remind you that the environment is a bipartisan issue. I thank you for supporting and keeping our state parks for the people last year. I hope you'll continue to support in a bipartisan way the environment. I'm requesting today you stop the Sugarland rock mine. Everglades restoration is an issue that Florida and the federal government have supported by millions and billions of dollars. This rock mine is going to undermine the restoration of the Everglades. Please keep that in mind, knowing that you believe that the environment is a bipartisan issue. I want to mention my previous experience with rock mine proposals in the state of Florida. My buddy, Sheila Calderon, and I have been speaking for the Sierra Club for about 25 years now. There was a rock mine proposal sometime after 2025. It might have been 6 or 7 or so. And the greater environmental community did a legal challenge against the state's permission to build that rock mine in the Everglades. The environmental community won. Please don't waste your time and your money and your effort at our expense in permitting this another rock mine. I want to share with you that my friend Sheila and I, as persons on the issue against allowing the rock mine, we were deposed by attorneys. It was one of the more despicable experiences in my life. Don't put people through that again. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, ma'am. Up next, with the Greenhouse Creative Collective, Estefania Torres. Thank you for being here, Estefania. You are recognized.
Hello. Thank you so much for taking the time for hear from us today. My name is Estefania Torres, and I'm here representing the Greenhouse Creative Collective. We are a statewide music and arts organization that started advocating in legislative sessions in 2024 when we saw the challenges with building community, intergenerational spaces that support arts and music. We are passionate about being a part of the movement to build a stronger economy around the arts. I'm here to urge you to continue your support for restoring funding to Florida's art and culture. Investments into the arts and culture has a positive ripple effect that can be felt across all industries in Florida. According to the Arts and Economic Prosperity study done by the Americans for the arts sector created $335 million in economic impact, as well as 4,360 jobs in Palm Beach County alone. This is income that goes right back into the Florida economy through spending. Last month, I was part of a voting outreach for another nationwide grant to help us fund music festivals in downtown Lake Worth. We got to stage 2 of the grant, where we received votes in order to move up in rankings. To get to the next stage, we needed to be at ranking number 50. We spent an entire weekend walking along the streets of downtown Lake Worth talking to hundreds of people about our organization. Almost every single person we talked to was fully supportive of what we were trying to build and bring in Florida. Local businesses were opening their doors to our team and let us ask everyone there to vote for us. When we started our outreach, we were ranking 108. By the end of the weekend, we managed to make it to 51. We were up against larger organizations in Chicago and New York and still almost made it to the ranking that we needed to get to the next stage of the grant. Although we didn't quite make it to the next stage, the immense amount of support from the community and local businesses represents just how much Floridians would love to see more music and art in our communities. I'll also be attending the Arts and Culture Advocacy Day at the Capitol on January 21st. I look forward to seeing some familiar faces. Thank you so much for listening to me today.
Thank you. Up next, we've got Sheila Calderon with the Sierra Club, followed by Evan Oriana. Ms. Sheila, thanks for being here. You're recognized.
I think it's saying close enough to say good afternoon. And thank you for the opportunity to speak. And I will try to stick within that 2 minutes. I am very concerned about reducing plastic waste. It's not only a national as well as a worldwide concern. I'm here today to plead with you to take a strong stand on putting the issue on your agendas to reduce the waste, the single-use plastic waste in all of our state facilities, allowing all local governments the home rule to reduce that single waste individually. This will save also on incineration as well, okay? If states such as California and Canadian Ontario can stop the use of plastic bags along with other regulations that they have, certainly we here in Florida should do the same. And I do hope that you will work towards that feeling. At any rate, I also wanted to mention that the PACE group of girls, I am very proud of the fact, because I ran the group for a number of years, for the Inspiring Connections Outdoors, which is a Sierra Club group that takes children from underserved communities, and PACE is one of the communities that we have worked with, and it is our pleasure to be able to do this. It's wonderful to have every opportunity to help children that may not be able to go out in the environment themselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all your service and for being here. Up next with the Surfrider Foundation, Evan Oriana. Evan, thanks for being here. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you for having me. I would say good morning, but we'll go with good afternoon now. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. My name is Evan Oriana. I'm a Palm Beach County resident in Delray Beach and the regional manager for the Surfrider Foundation of Florida. We have 12 chapters throughout the state, and I'm here representing our local Palm Beach chapter. I just want to briefly talk about 3 of our main priorities for this legislative session coming up: coastal resilience, water quality monitoring and notifications, and a reduction in local plastic pollution. We hope you'll prioritize legislation for nature-based solutions like mangrove restoration, coastal wetland protection, and living shorelines, all of which serve as buffers for flooding, sea level rise, and provide significant ecological benefits. If you've been out to the ocean this last week, you've seen the major erosion we've had just from a minor storm, and it's getting worse. We haven't had a big hit from a hurricane in a long time, and we're a little worried how our coastlines will prepare for it in the coming years. We also urge the legislation to repeal sections 18 and 28 from last year's SB 180. This law has paralyzed local government's land use and planning developments throughout the state. It goes well beyond hurricane recovery and rebuilding. I've been to many city council meetings, and everybody is worried about it, and their hands are really badly tied when it comes to planning for our resilient future. Moving on to water quality, a very important aspect Surfrider advocates for. We try to strengthen beach water quality monitoring and testing. We want to thank Representatives Gossett Simon and Senator Berman for their spearheading and championing of this effort in past years. Very big deal for me. I've gotten sick multiple times in Delray Beach at the municipal beach, swimming in the water, fishing, only to find later that there was a notification that didn't timely get to the lifeguard stations to warn the public for their health. We asked the rest of the members of the delegation to support legislation like this. And then finally, regarding plastic pollution, we support SB 240, sponsored by Senator Garcia, which enables local governments to make rules that benefit their citizens and their local regions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here. And then our final speaker to bring us home for today, Sean, I apologize on this, Shinghammer with the Caring Home Care. Thank you for being here and for your patience, Sean. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you for staying late. My name is Sean Schwinger with Caring Home Care. I'm involved with the Home Care Association of Florida, the Private Care Association of Florida, and also a founder of the Partnership for Medicaid Home-Based Care, which is a national advocacy organization for home-based care in Medicaid. What I'm talking about are those people who go out to the home and keep Medicaid patients in the home, bathing and toileting people to let them be where they want to be, which is a home, instead of going into a nursing home. It saves money for the state. Unfortunately, our state has been in crisis for some time because we're losing our aid population. No one wants to go into the business anymore. To be perfectly frank, why would you want to bathe someone's grandma and toilet somebody's grandfather when you can make more money working at Target or Burger King? And that's what's happened. The cost of living has gotten so high, and especially in South Florida. Here in Palm Beach County, we have an office in Boynton Beach. We don't have a willing aid population anymore, and the aid training schools are 50% and less enrolled because people don't want to be in that business. There's an easy solution to it, which is increased reimbursements. It sounds expensive, but in reality, our state pays right now through the statewide Medicaid managed care program about $19.87 to a provider to reimburse for this very vital work. Out of that $19, the provider's got to pay for a business, has to keep an office open from 8 until 5, has to have a director of nursing, and is required to have a director of human resources and invest in a lot of technology. But the base wage, the wage is the real cost. And the expectation is we're paid $19.87, and the aides are saying, listen, I can't do this work unless I get $20. Interestingly, though, 2 years ago, the state passed a bill and is now paying parents, which I think it's correct to do, paying parents to stay home with their medically fragile children to provide these exact same services. The state's paying $25 in reimbursement, but the businesses who have all the regulations are paid about $19. We need to reinvest in this, and there's some efforts that are going to be put forward to all of you to consider, and we really thank you for your consideration of this important issue. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir, for being here. Critically important. It concludes all of our public comments. I just want to briefly, members, open it up if anybody has any final announcements or closing remarks. Seeing none and having no further business before the delegation, Vice Chair Skidmore moves we rise. The meeting is adjourned.